Hi guys, the crazy guy back again. Yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on again recently. Um, Depending on what kind of life you live, depends on the information you receive to a degree. And because I live the kind of life where I resonate in this frequency of, I guess, seeing through the propaganda. I see through the propaganda, most of it anyway. Everyone falls for some of it. But I'm not falling for this EU referendum bollocks. I'm not falling for it. I don't think that if you vote in or out, it will make a bloody bit of difference. Because voting hasn't worked so far, has it, really? I mean, people voted for there not to be an illegal war in Iraq. As many people have pointed out, that aren't morons, there was an illegal war in Iraq. It happened anyway. So, what we need to do is stop fighting each other over religion and land, who's got the right gods, who's got the right religions, whose skin colour's more relevant or anything like that. Don't worry about any of that, it's bollocks, let it go now. Okay, we need to start standing together because it's the only way we're going to make it out alive of this situation. It's come to the time now where we can't just keep sitting around on Facebook moaning about it on statuses and arguing with people on comment threads. That's not good enough anymore. We need to make real change happen, and it's not going to happen with us blaming other people or anything like that. We have to actually make real change, get communities together, start growing our own food, filtering our own water, becoming self-sufficient and knowing how to do this without government, because otherwise we're never going to get out of this situation. We're always going to believe that we need to be controlled, and we don't. We've been made to believe that we need to be controlled, and because of that, we are where we're at now. We are where we're at now. I'm an erratic thinker, I get my words muddled up, okay? So now, in an age of instant messaging and, being able to take HD videos on your phone and send them within minutes to across the world, it's now our responsibility to do something about it. Because we see all this injustice happening in the world, and we go on Facebook and we have rants, and the most that will happen is a few hundred, maybe a few thousand people stand in a centre of a town for a couple hours shouting and possibly getting into fights with police, but that's not doing anything. If anything, that's proving that we still need them. Civil disobedience, non-conformity, is the better side of it. Kind of like a teenager just saying, no, I'm not doing it. But if we did that not in hundreds or thousands, but in millions, we could have a successful spiritual revolution. And it's nowhere near as easy as it sounds. Not at all. Because at first we have to have a revolution in our minds, to let go of the anxiety and the fear, and to move on from that. Because that would be our next stage of evolution. And if we don't tap into that now while we still can, there may not be any more evolution for us. So we really got to start thinking now. We really have to start thinking and pulling together and stop arguing over all of these medieval arguments and propaganda that has resonated through the centuries and is still stuck with us, because we like to moan, we like to point out the negatives, mainly probably because it makes us feel better about ourselves, but we have to move past that. not from a religious point of view, not from a political point of view, not from a scientific point of view, just as a general observation, we have to start pulling it together now. We have the information, we have all the videos, all the articles, all the whistleblowers, all the information we need to bring this down. We're just not doing it. Why? Because of fear of ridicule in society. We're so tied up with what people think of us and fear of people thinking that our opinions aren't the same as the masses and not being able to fit in. That's another way we've managed to get into this situation, and that's why a lot of people that kind of get on with their everyday lives and Western consumerism are considered sheep. And that's not to insult them, it's just a reference to their behaviour. I don't agree with the term myself because I think it's quite demeaning, because it's not the 99%'s fault that we're in this situation. Not for the most part, but like I said earlier, we now have instantaneous communication and cameras and all sorts of stuff, so we do need to start taking responsibility for a lot more that happens. And if we don't like something, then we really do need to act now and, kind of, and not in like a paranoid or panicky kind of way, but we have to start thinking for ourselves, and we have to take actions into our own hands and stop blaming and start doing.